Road now. It's about 40 kilometers off the N2 and we are headed to De Hoop, our next adventure spot. It's a beautiful road. It goes through various farmlands. It's quite an easy road to navigate. Actually, it's got these beautiful hills. This one reminds me a little bit of the old Windows XP desktop. Maybe that gives away my age. You won't think I'm 23 as I am at the moment, so we'll not worry about that. But it's a beautiful road and we're looking forward to seeing what De Hoop has. So let's see, here we go, De Hoop up ahead. We've arrived at the check-in spot. Very exciting here at De Hoop. My major concern is that there is some inclemency around, and it looks like we could be in for testing our skills and ability and our endurance, because it looks like there's a little bit of wet weather coming. So let's see how this adventure unfolds. Through the first gate and that's off the gravel. We're now onto some tar, which is nice. I'm not sure how long this will last. And then in the distance are the beautiful dunes, which are shining iridescent in the light at the moment, which is hopeful. Maybe that's why it's called De Hoop. And we do hope that we have some nice weather, despite what the forecast is saying. Right, obviously the first thing we've got to do is have some food, and this gives us an opportunity to check out their brochure. I always like to check out the brochures because then you can see what's going on. This one cost 20 Rand, but it looks well worth it. And you learn a little bit about De Hoop. So what's interesting, they say that the diversity of 1,500 plant species among the highest in the Cape Floral region, with a large percentage of rare, threatened and endemic species. So you're going to see, we've already seen a lot of plants just coming in. It's been amazing. The other interesting thing is that De Hoop is one of the world's most important calving grounds for the southern right whale, and an important nursery area from which depleted angling species such as galleon may be replenished. So there's lots happening here, and it also gives a whole lot of interesting activities. I mean, there's everything here. You went from tennis to bulls to jungle gyms to the restaurant which we're in at the moment, to marine walks and guided bike trails and all sorts of things. So there really looks like there is a ton to do here. In addition to lots of animals, dussies and interesting trees, etc. So that's going to be particularly interesting. I was reading a little about the history of this place. It was actually originally given from the Dutch East India Company years back to the people who are no longer employed by the government. They'd be given a sort of free home that they could stay in, and the people stayed in here. And the reason they actually called it De Hoop is there was the hope that it's quite a harsh area here, that it would be an area that they could actually use for farming. And over the centuries and years that intervened, there are many people that tried different types of farming until right near the end we learned that what happened is there was in about 1953 rather, the hoop was sold to the gardeners, and they were sheep farming, and their sheep got a thing that's called lamziekte, because they weren't getting the right nutrients or whatever, and they all died off. And eventually they actually sold this whole property to the government back then, and thankfully the government then proclaimed it a nature reserve. So now we have this beautiful place, but a lot of the buildings, the original homesteads, etc., are hundreds of years old. So it's not only a natural beauty, there's also a lot of history here, so it's going to be really interesting. Really stunning pool area. I have to gather up some courage to jump into it soon. That's it here on this beautiful, right on the edge, but with the weather looking dark and relatively cold at the moment, but I'm sure this is something we will enjoy, even if we've got to do it in the rain. This definitely looks like a good swimming spot. There's one thing I always look at for campsites is to see, how they're doing and how they're maintained, and you can see everything's beautifully kept in pristine condition. And then to see under this beautiful tree, you can see that they're not just maintaining, they're extending, and so there is a being built which will be absolutely stunning, because this thing is going to be able to have amazing views. So that's what you like to see when they're constantly improving. So we are nourished on a delicious lunch, and so I think it's now time for us to go and find our campsite and get ourselves set up before too much crazy weather comes, and get out and do some activities and explore this beautiful part of the world. We have quickly sort of pitched, this is actually campsite 9. This is where my daughter and son-in-law actually are camping. We've decided to pitch in here because of the forecast of some crazy winds that are coming. I'll take you to the other campsite that we actually got booked, which is really beautiful, has a lovely view, but we're going to be a little bit cautious considering that there are some mega winds coming. So let's go for a cycle. Time to get the best of the weather that we've got. This is campsite 3, which is I'd recommend. It's absolutely beautiful because obviously it's situated right here with your little fire pit over there, and it's got stunning views all over the place, which is really amazing. However, with some gale force winds coming, we are being a little bit cautious. We want to have our tent blow away, so we're going to not go on this one, but it's sure going to be lots of fun. So let's go and adventure and go and cycle and explore the wilds of De Hoop. Well, this used to be the bridge crossing, I think, but it looks like the lagoon has extended itself, so no longer is it the bridge crossing. Unless we can turn our bicycles into some sort of aqua vehicle, I think we're going to have to turn around and go the other road. Stunning cycle route. Just a disclaimer, those things where they say children and any other sensible people don't do this at home. Yeah, well, I really shouldn't be doing this. I haven't got some fancy GoPro. It's holding my phone in my hand, bicycle one hand. So if it doesn't work out, we'll get some epic footage. But this is the cycle all the way down to the beautiful beach that can be enjoyed. the reward at the end of the cycle is this lovely restaurant, Bites Cafe. I see they've got as their symbol a whale, so we figured out why this is their symbol, because there's amazing whales out here. What a beautiful spot. This is actually the end of the 50-kilometer whale trail, which goes all the way along the coast. Obviously why it's called the whale trail. Beautiful walk now down to the beach. Maybe I can convince Nikki to go for a swim with the whales. Beautiful snorkeling spots along here as well, and are well worth visiting when the tide is low. You might not see whales in the snorkeling holes, but lots of beautiful fish. Well, that was a fun cycle. Time to get back and get the campsite all set up and have it all ready. Got to go and check out those ablutions and make sure everything is ready for camping experience. It's a fun trail, but there are a few little ticks on it, which one has to deal with. It's part of being in the wild. If you're going to see wild animals, you've also got to deal with the wild critters that come with it. Beastly little critters everywhere. I'm hoping that I have tick-proofed myself. There's still a hole in the sock there. They could sneak through there, but hopefully they don't get through, breach the defences. Right, onward and upward. This is where the little ticks like to hang out. They'll be leaping on me as we cycle. Little critters. Gonna get through them quickly. See, they're probably there's hungry fellas. I don't know how many people come through here on the cycle trail, but they're ready for enjoying some tasty feasts. You can't find animals, they'll settle for humans. So that was an amazing cycle, and it's the end of the day. So we've got here, we've sort of set up our site. We haven't set it up, but now we've done our cycle, we've seen all of that. What's left? Obviously, we've got to do sundowners, and the sun is just about setting. We've got to finish setting up the site. I've got to check out those ablutions to make sure they're good and everything's right. But before we do any of that, there's one other thing we have to do. Despite the fact that it's about 3 degrees, there's still one other thing we've got to do. Let's do it. It's cold, so we've got to warm up first. Son, can't get in there until it's warmed up. It's too cold. It's icy. Yay! Penguins in here. I'm sure there's penguins.
You know, the sun's come to warm you up.
Whew, but it's beautiful. Refreshing. It's a pretty impressive washing up area, I must say. And how cool is that? Not only do they give you sponges and all Goldilocks, they even give you your dishwashing liquid, and there's even a stove and oven, and even some utensils. So very cool. Everything provided, everything that you need, and even a spot to store our bikes and put them on charge. Okay, so it's a great washing up area. Just I've got one complaint. I've got a feeling this was designed for dwarves, because I literally, if I don't want to have to be bending down, I'm gonna have to get to about this level to wash. Otherwise, you've got to bend, and it could be seen as a Pilates workout or a starter course to become the Hunchback of Notre Dame or something like that, because that's what I'm gonna end up at the end of this. But yeah, at least we've got a washing area, and it's all very cool. Well, that's the washing done. At least I didn't suffer any ill effects from it. So that's it. It's 25 to 11 at night, so this is the end of the day, and I'm coming into the toilet area. So this is going to be a big test of what it's like. And very impressive. Right, let's go. Let's get straight to business. See, look at that. That's pretty impressive. And let's do the big check. Oh, yes, that looks excellent. You could drink out of that. And lovely basin area. Even little touches. You get some body lotion and soap, and little hand towelettes. And there you've got your shower area. Nice big shower. And with an area to put your clothes. So, I think this passed the test. Really nice. Now all that remains is for me to go to bed. Hope it's a peaceful night. Good night. They mentioned that rain might be coming, and we've started to have our first little taste of rain. Some driplets have arrived. So we're going to have to just go and, not worry. We're going to have to go out and explore nonetheless, because that's what life is about, getting out there regardless of the weather. So get the wet gear on and get the right gear on and make sure we can handle a bit of moisture. And yeah, let's still go and explore the wilds and see what this beautiful place of De Hoop has to offer. But I think first we need some fortification. So first up, let's get something in the stomach so we are strong enough to endure the ravages of nature. Right, so anyone know what we're making? No, it is not bread. No, it is not mealie meal. And no, it is not paint glue. There's such a thing. No, this is delicious. Easy mix pancakes. Or are they pancakes? They're crumpets, easy mix crumpets, yeah. So we know what we're making, but this is going to be absolutely delicious. So just hang on for a moment and you're going to get to, and we're not going to get to taste it, but you're going to get to see us stuffing these down our little guzzets. Right, let's get it on before the rain arrives. So there we have them. Super awesome, delicious crumpets. There's nothing better on a cold day like this. And we hunker down under a tent covering here, because this is the only protection we've got. So, bon appetit everyone. A tasty crumpet for you. Nom, 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 nom. Right, so this is the AeroPress, meant to work. This is when the wife tries to do it and does it wrong, mixes the things in the wrong place. So it hasn't quite turned out, but I'm sure it'll be delicious. So as penance, she's preparing the next round of crumpets. Hey, It's raining at the moment outside, so it's time to just sit by the fire for a little bit, see if the weather clears before we head out and explore in the rain regardless of the weather. Firstly, let's warm up. Well, the rain's been kind to us at the moment. We're enjoying a beautiful walk along the cliffs. Stunning little walk that you can do all the way along the cliffs, looking down into the water below and the incredible bird life that's here. Camping's not your thing. There are little lodges you can stay in, even your own helicopter pad. If you've got your own helicopter, good spot to land right here outside your lodge, and eland nearby. You've got game on your doorstep, and you've got these little thatched white lodges reminiscent of a bygone era. The rain is starting to come down, but there's always shelter to be had underneath the tree. This massive tree, it's just absolutely huge. Houses or tents, you can just camp under this huge, what is it, fig tree or something. Absolutely beautiful. Must have been here for years. It's nice and dry under here, even though it's raining outside. Got our own private spot here with entertainment. It seems that only management vehicles are allowed here. It's obviously that they are equipped with some form of flotation device so that they can take this road, float over there to whatever secrets lie beyond.
Well, the wind and the rain went crazy like a crazy banshee the whole of last night. It's still now going berserkers, and rooftop tents holding up, but a little concerned with what's coming because it's going to get worse. We only got up to about 40 km/h winds. We're going to get up to like nearly 80 km/h winds. That caution might be the best part of valor, or however that saying goes. That it might be worth tapping out at this stage before we actually blow off our rooftop and we then have a ground top tent.
Oh, we seem to have packed up. The weather is increasingly inclement, but yeah, that's part of what it's all about. Adventure and exploring the wilds. And sometimes when I stand at the top of my roof here, it is just a bit crazy, but it's what makes it worth it. It makes us feel alive. This is what touching life is about. Right, hold it to the phone before it blows away. That was fun. That's De Hoop. We had De Hoop for some slightly better weather, but the first day we had unbelievable weather. We saw the whales, the beautiful white beaches there, the stunning walks along the coastline. Even when the weather is not nice, it's still beautiful to walk here. But yeah, there is a limit where one has to sort of tap out, and this is it. But we will be back, because this is such a beautiful spot and it's so well looked after, and there's just so much diversity here. So it's been fun.
And so we headed home to Franschhoek to escape the storm, and the unexpected rarely happened when we got there.
Well, let's look at our house. This is what's happened. The water has come down to new levels. Oh, totally flooded. I've never seen rain like this. We woke up and everything is absolutely flooded. The car can't even start. Absolute deep water here, and the waters are rising. It's going to try and get some emergency stuff out of the car. We've evacuated everyone into the house.
Stop the water coming in. Some black bags over here and other things. Just hoping that they're not going to keep rising the water outside. Even a little sluggy-to snake trying to find its way to safety in all the water. Managed to hook on the back of the bike and he's sensible enough to know that that's a spot that could be safe. What kind of snake is it? Hello, little snaky.
We decided to leave our last place that we were staying at camping to come home, and well, we thought we might be flooded there. Well, here is what happened when we got home. We woke up in the middle of the night and there was water a meter deep inside, and everything is totally flooded. It's an absolute disaster zone. Cars, we're not even sure how we will get out of here. We have some guests who are staying with us. They've all come and sheltered in the loft of our house. This is our driveway. And all the cars, everything's underwater. It's absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy. This is the power of water. So our only way out is to try, in some states, if we can get across the river, which didn't used to be a river, over there, and get back. Also further along, all this water is actually coming from the Franschhoek village down into the bottom where it flows into the Franschhoek river. So it's all coming down our driveway as we're right at the bottom. And the river itself is going absolutely crazy. I can see it's just going absolutely crazy. It's flooding over everywhere. It's just taken our thing. So this is what we have to deal with. It's very sad. When your house and everything gets flooded, but at least everyone's safe. I suppose that's the most important thing.